Good afternoon and welcome to SNN. I'm Mitchell Wagner. Today's broadcast is on how our President, Donald Trump, and Congress need to address illegal drug abuse this 2017. Drug addiction is a chronic disease which is hard to manage even when knowing the fatal outcomes. Becoming a more serious problem every day, drug use must be controlled. It impacts teens and youth whom we rely on to be America's future. First-time drug use is voluntary, but the repetition of using illegal drugs affects the brain, making it impossible to resist them. Sadly, substance addiction is a relapsing disease. Even after multiple attempts to quit drug abuse, there is still a high chance that someone will return to taking the drug. Most people instantly become addicted to a specific illegal drug on first use, but it is interesting to note that there are a few people who won't. One of the most significant contributions to this is a person's environment. This includes family and friends, economic status, early exposure to illegal drugs, peer pressure, and parental guidance. Certain biological components such as gender, ethnicity, and mental disorders can also determine the likeliness of a person becoming addicted. Lastly, the development of a teenager can make a big difference. If started early as a teenager, the risk of becoming addicted later is outstandingly more prohibitive. Now we go to Andrew Berge at Penridge High School.
I'm here at Penridge High School, and I'm about to go in and enter.
I'm here today with Mr. Dean Burns, our school guidance counselor. Mr. Burns, today I would like to ask you a few questions related to drug abuse. What are some of the reasons that teens get pulled into drug abuse?
I think some of the reasons that teens have been pulled into drug abuse has been, I think, some of the family issues they might have had at home. If it's a divorce, if there's been abuse, maybe neglect, I think, and every situation is different, but I think those are some of the reasons that I've seen over my 26 years in education where kids might get pulled into drug abuse. I also think you could look at, there could have been a death in the family, if it's a mother or father, or a grandparent that are close to, or even an aunt or uncle.
All right, thank you. And what advice would you give to someone who has suffered from drug abuse or drug addiction?
I think if there's a student or an adult that's involved with drug addiction, I think and a family member's concerned, I think the best advice I can give, if you want to get that individual to a drug rehab center. I mean, it is hard for someone, I think, just to go cold turkey and to say, I'm going to end this right now. I mean, it has been done, okay? But a lot of times, I think it takes a lot of professional help to get someone over, drug addiction. That's a very difficult thing, and it's not a guarantee the first time that they would go through a drug addiction program that they would become clean. But it's a process, and I think that's the best advice I can give. Get that individual to a drug rehab center.
All right, thank you.
Now follow me as we learn together, up close and personal with Zach Vanneman, what drugs can do to your brain.
Hello.
Hello. Are you ready to learn?
What's causing the problem and how can we fix it, you ask? We think there's multiple contributors to the situation. The biggest problem is how the issue is ignored. Many people don't want to even talk about the matter. For example, during the process of making this video, we made several attempts to contact and set up interviews with different professionals, only one of which would talk to us. Our first interview was set up to meet with an acclaimed psychologist. We picked out a date that worked for both of us, and she didn't give any confirmation. Another burn was when we called Pyramid Healthcare, a renowned drug rehabilitation center in Pennsylvania. The receptionist forwarded us to an administrator who would gladly talk to us. 3 days before the interview, we received a voicemail from a different administrator stating that we weren't allowed to interview anyone from Pyramid Healthcare, period.
The problem begins with the education of children and more specifically teenagers. From a student's perspective, drug abuse is not being taught well in school. Since elementary school, wellness teachers were given major funding in order to teach about the dangers of tobacco and smoking. Although in today's high school, we know that many students turn to illegal drugs, such as marijuana, high-level narcotics like heroin, and also stimulants, for example, cocaine and methamphetamine. Another essential approach to combating this epidemic is providing accessible help to those in need. Establishments, such as Pyramid Healthcare mentioned earlier in this program, are created for this purpose. But, as stated earlier, if I want to make OJ and the orange can't be peeled, there ain't gonna be no juice.
Kids that are out at night on school nights after 10 o'clock, for example, are half of them are among kids who are using drugs and drinking. About 30% of the kids that are out between 8 and 10 are among kids that are using drugs and drinking. So parents not monitoring their kids.
We need to start making the change because drug abuse won't decrease without it. Citizens of America, do your best to stay away and say no. President Trump, Congress, if somehow you end up seeing this, don't ignore the problem. Do something about it. This is the future generation we're talking about here. To keep within the time frame, if more teens end up turning to drugs, America's doomed. On behalf of the SNN team, thank you for watching. See you next time.